Taylor Swift and fiancé Travis Kelce returned to their Beverly Hills mansion after a Paul McCartney concert in Los Angeles. On Monday, March 30th, Taylor Swift and her fiancé Travis Kelce were spotted leaving their Beverly Hills mansion after attending a concert by legendary musician Paul McCartney in Los Angeles that Sunday evening. Taylor Swift opted for a simple, elegant, and relaxed black outfit, giving her a sophisticated yet understated.
There are nights when the noise fades, when the cameras blink a little slower, and for a fleeting moment, the world's most watched couple look ordinary. And yet, somehow, that's when they become the most fascinating. Because what happens when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce step away from the spotlight and into something that looks suspiciously like real life? That's the question hanging in the air after their quiet return to a Beverly Hills mansion following a night that, on paper, should have been anything but quiet. A Paul McCartney concert isn't just a concert, it's a pilgrimage. It's history humming through amplifiers. And yet, as I watch this story unfold, I can't help but notice it's not the music that's got people talking, it's what happened after. Because here's the thing, and forgive me, this is where my inner longtime observer kicks in. You learn more about people in the walk back to the car than you ever do on the red carpet. No choreography, no rehearsed smiles, just instinct. And what we saw was a couple strolling, not performing. No grand gestures, no theatrical affection, just presence. And oddly enough, that restraint speaks volumes. Taylor, dressed in black, understated, almost deliberately so, looked less like the global icon commanding stadiums and more like someone quietly absorbing a night that meant something personal. And Travis, jacket, shades, that familiar confidence, yet dialed down, softened. Not the roaring tight end, but a man lingering in a moment he didn't want to rush. It's subtle, but if you've watched athletes long enough, you recognize that shift. That's not game mode. That's life mode. Now, if you're enjoying this kind of layered storytelling, the kind where we read between the lines rather than just repeat headlines, go ahead and like the video. It helps more than you think, and it tells me you're seeing what I'm seeing here. What intrigues me most is the setting itself. Beverly Hills. Ironically, one of the few places engineered for privacy in a world that profits off exposure. It's where stars go to disappear just enough to breathe. And that's exactly what this felt like. Not an exit for the cameras, but a return, a retreat, a quiet exhale after a night filled with echoes of one of music's greatest legacies. And let's not ignore the symbolism here, because there's always symbolism when Taylor Swift is involved. You don't attend a Paul McCartney concert casually if you're her. That's not just fandom, that's influence, that's lineage. You could almost imagine the gears turning, melodies forming in the background of her mind, ideas sparked by chords that shaped generations. And right beside her is Travis, not as a spectator, but as a witness to that process, supporting it, absorbing it, maybe even learning from it in his own way. There's a quiet poetry in that, isn't there? A man whose world is defined by impact and physicality, standing alongside a woman whose power lies in words and melody. Different arenas, same rhythm. And when they walk hand in hand back to that mansion, it's less about celebrity and more about alignment. But here's where I lean in a bit, because I think this is the part people underestimate. Moments like this, unpolished, unscripted, are what shape public perception far more than any award speech or headline. Fans don't fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with glimpses of reality. And that image of the two of them simply walking, unguarded in their own bubble, it hit something. You could feel it ripple across social media. Some called it mature, others called it grounding. I'll go a step further. It felt earned. This isn't the early spark, the flashy beginning that grabs headlines. This is the middle stretch, the part where relationships either settle into something real or quietly unravel. And from where I'm sitting, this one looks like it's settling, deepening, finding its rhythm. Now, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the Kelce Report, because this is exactly where we unpack these moments, not just what happened, but what it means. And maybe, just maybe, That's the real story here. Not the concert, not the mansion, not even the global fame. It's the way two people, constantly watched, have started to move like they're not, like they've carved out a space where the world fades just enough for them to hear each other clearly. Because in the end, long after the music